I'm excited because we are now in Binge Worthy.
Yeah, we are.
And this is a show I've wanted to talk about for years now. And just for some reason never had the right timing. And you recommended the Peaky Blinders.
The Peaky Blinders.
Who I've watched the show for years. So I was excited because it feels like it's an old show.
Mm-hmm.
Not because there's a new season finally coming out after 7 years of waiting. However, Patrick, you want to kick off and fill everybody in what the Peaky Blinders is?
So Peaky Blinders is a story. It takes place in the turn of the century. Well, not turn of the century, but it's after World War I, and it takes place out in London, and it's basically this family that are pretty much the mob. They're not the mob, but they run numbers, and they own bars, they do criminal activity.
They start by like fixing horse races, right?
Yeah.
Was that? I mean,
yeah. So
it's been so long
it's all
since
about
I started.
like sports betting and all of that. But yeah, I mean, it is just a phenomenal. Like, you may want to watch it with subtitles. I've had to do that for a few episodes because their accents are thick, and it has Cillian Murphy, who plays the lead, Tommy Shelby, and Tom Hardy also happens to be in the series.
Almost too much.
Oh, no, he's great, dude. He's so good in
Alfie.
But yeah, and then Helen McCrory, who
unfortunately
rest
lost
in peace.
her life due to
breast cancer.
Yes, sadly.
She just passed this last year, actually. So it'll be interesting what they do, I guess, with this next season. But
yeah, because Aunt Polly was like, she's badass in the series.
Yeah, she is. So yeah, it's just really about this family, and it's all like criminal gangs, but this family about staying together, taking care of each other is kind of the heart of it. But
so three brothers.
Yes, there's
starts
three.
With
Well,
the three brothers.
yeah, it starts with three brothers, and Cillian Murphy, he plays the middle brother, and they also have a sister, and there's a lot of power struggles within the family, even that. Yeah, it's a brutal show, but it's so good.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, this takes place in the early 1900s.
I said that.
Yes. But it's really kind of the gritty... It starts out in the real gritty areas of like Britain. Like these people aren't wealthy to begin with. Like when the series starts, I mean, they're struggling to get by, which is why they're getting their way wherever they can by like fixing horse races, doing whatever they can to get by. Cillian Murphy's kind of the brains of the operation between the brothers, but these guys are like hardcore gangster, willing to do anything. Not to be confused, so there were real Peaky Blinders. However, this is not, I mean, they took the name from them, but the true story of Peaky Blinders doesn't really relate to this. The basic fame to the Peaky Blinders was they used to hide razor blades in their hats, and they take their hats off and cut people. So that's what they really took into the series here. When the show starts, they use that quite a bit. It kind of gets away from it in the later seasons, but that's kind of the claim to fame of the Peaky Blinders. But it's an interesting, different take on kind of like that old school mafia type films that we were all excited for, like Goodfellas and that, but told in like the British era after World War I. Because it's real interesting to look at how like these people that came back and served in the war, like they were treated like heroes. Like Thomas Shelby served in the war, so he has that kind of power over the government to say, look, he's a World War I, hero, survivor, and they get that kind of credibility from the government. So it's interesting to see how they maneuver that in the series. I thought was great.
And they kind of use it to their advantage.
Yes. One highlight I want to say in the early seasons, Sam Neill.
Yes.
He plays the inspector hunting, or basically investigating the Shelby family. Amazing.
He played it so well because I hated him.
More of a brawn stature of a character for Sam Neill, I thought. That like he really pulled it off. He was so good.
And his accent in it. Like another thing that I really like about all their accents is all of their accents are very particular to the area that they're from.
Yes.
There is, for all of you who don't know, there is no just standard British accent. There are different dialects, just like in the U.S., right?
Yep.
And they play on that really well. Because like him, he almost sounded a little more Scottish, even though he wasn't from Scotland. But there are parts of England that that's the sound.
Yes. The show, like, Patrick, I was actually going to recommend the same thing. Sometimes you might want to go into the put your closed caption on. There's been a few times I've had to rewind, turn them on, watch to see what they're saying. It does get kind of frustrating at some points, but I don't think it's reason to give up on the series, because when you do first start it, these accents are very thick.
Vamos for fun and fucking in it, so whiskey, all right.
This show originally aired on BBC, so it wasn't like an American-made TV series. It grew more popular after it was released and just became this huge hit, I think, through streaming services and word of mouth, that they did kind of make it easier, I think, later on. One of the faults I will give the series, though, obviously you brought up Tom Hardy. Yeah, I can't understand a word he says in anything he does, but he's even worse in this series. But I really loved the grittiness of what Peaky Blinders was when it started. However, I felt like as the series progressed, the stylization, I felt like, overtook substance. I'm still excited to watch each season as it goes, and I'm really excited to see season 6. I mean, it's been like a 2-year, I think almost 3-year hiatus. I'm still itching to watch it. I'm not saying I'm not interested. However, when you binge watch this, you will notice the difference. I felt like in the later seasons, it became more stylized. Like, they knew it was a cool show. They knew it was the end thing for people to watch. So every walking sequence has to be slow motion. Aunt Polly has to be in style and sunglasses, and they all have to do the cool walk when they're walking. I felt like, especially in season 5, that kind of overtook the substance, where I was kind of turned off a little bit by it. But because you're so invested, because the character and the storytelling is so intriguing, and you're so invested by that point, obviously I am so excited to finish watching. However, I felt like I liked the grittiness more at the beginning of the series.
So
versus
I
the
haven't
end.
gotten through the whole series because I never watched this show when it came out.
Yeah.
And I remember people saying, oh, this was it, this was it. And I was like, I don't know, I'll wait. And then I forgot about it. But then when I heard that they were coming out with this, I was like, you know what? Like, I always wanted to watch this and I never got to. So then I went to watch it. And, like, I just... No. So I'm excited to finish it. But it is definitely like when the way we were talking at the beginning, like ha ha ho ho ho, that's funny. But no, actually, like that is how they talk. Like they talk like this, especially Tom Hardy. He's terrible.
Paul Anderson does a great job. Arthur, he is just wild as the oldest brother. Yep. The acting in the series is just, it is top notch. Joe Cole, who went on to London Gangs, I think is the name of the series. He's amazing. He's the younger brother. The cast is perfect. I think it was casted really well. How they consume the amount of alcohol and cigarettes. I mean, I remember reading an article, like they go through like 6,000 cigarettes a season, and the seasons are only like 6 episodes, but they go through and it is fake tobacco, but smoking that much. Yeah. Like the actors say, it is a struggle.
I don't think
it's insane.
I don't think I've seen one scene with Cillian Murphy that he hasn't smoked a cigarette.
Oh, and then once it's out, they light up again. It is crazy.
It's ripping darts, baby. Ripping darts.
But it is a great series for the storytelling of that kind of mob, gangster, old school style storytelling. This stays true to it. And if that is up your alley, I'm going to say watch Peaky Blinders. And then tell me if after a month you don't own one of these. Much like the Yellowstone fans that are out there buying cowboy hats right now, Peaky Blinders did it first.
Yeah, they did. I own 4 of these now. No, it is like even the style of how they all dress, the way they're groomed, everything is just, oh man.
The music, it is cool. And like I said, I don't want to turn away that the stylization of it isn't cool. It just became more of the focus. But even when they do it, like they do it the cool white stripes or whatever, it's just. It is filmed very cool, and I love the series. So, you will watch? I don't know if we've...
Heck yeah, I'm going to watch. Watch the Peaky Blinders.
Do I add heck yeah?
Yeah.
I like it. Heck yeah. That would be a new rating.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is concluding another fantastic episode of Attack on Show. We thank you for watching. Before you start watching the next video of ours, make sure you hit like and subscribe.
Comment, share, hit that notification button.
Yes. As always, I'm Rob E.
I'm Patrick Harney.
And this is
Attack on Show.